Good morning, students. Today we are starting the chapter from a book, that is the Mughal Empire. In the previous chapter, we have studied about the 5 different dynasties of the Sultanate period, and the Lodi dynasty was the last dynasty of the Sultanate period. And with the first battle of Panipat, the Mughal Empire rule started in India. So in this chapter, we will study how Mughal rule in India. So let us first see what is the term Mughal means. The term Mughal is the Persian form of the word Mongol. Mughals were the descendant of Genghis Khan from their mother side, who were the ruler of Mongol tribe of China and central India. From their father side, they were the direct descendant of Timur, the ruler of Iran, Iraq and present-day Turkey. We have already discussed the invasion of Timur in 1398 in the previous chapter. If you are not able to recall, you can watch that video again. But Mughals did not like to be called Mughal or Mongol. But why? Because Genghis Khan had some bad memory with the massacre of innumerable people. It was linked with the Uzbeks, their Mongol competitor. On the other hand, they were proud of their Timur ancestry, as their great ancestor had captured Delhi in 1398. They celebrated their genealogy pictorially, each ruler getting picture made of Timur and himself. Have a look at this picture. This was same as we have good group photographs nowadays. In the previous video, we have discussed about the Lodi dynasty, which was the last dynasty of the Sultanate period. Ibrahim Lodi, the son and successor of Sikandar Lodi, was one of the ruler of Lodi dynasty, and he was known for his bad temper. What he used to do? He used to humiliate the trusted nobles who had been loyal to the Lodi rulers before him. Daulat Khan, the governor of Punjab, Alam Khan, a relative of Ibrahim Lodi, were two of those nobles who were not happy with the way the Sultan used to treat them. So what they did? They invited Babur to invade the Delhi Sultanate. Now students, have a look at the ancestry of Mughals. Miran Shah, Sultan Muhammad Mirza, Abu Saad and Umar Sheikh were the father and forefathers of Babur. Babur established Mughal dynasty in India. After Babur came Humayun, then Akbar, then Jahangir and Shah Jahan and then Aurangzeb. In this chapter we will study till Aurangzeb only. Although Humayun was defeated by Sher Shah Suri, the founder of Sur dynasty, but after the death of Sher Shah Suri, Humayun regained the Indian Empire with the help of the Persian king. In this chapter, we will discuss about Sher Shah Suri and Sur dynasty also. Now let's talk about Babur. Who was Babur? Babur was the son of Umar Sheikh. Umar Sheikh was the ruler of Kingdom Fargana, Central Asia. After his death, Babur ascended the throne of Fargana in 1494 at the age of 12. Babur wanted to capture Samarkand. He lost and recaptured his kingdom many times, and he was forced to leave his ancestral throne by Ottoman Turks Uzbek. By that time, Ottoman Turk Uzbek, Mongols and Safavid Persian had become strong power in that region. Soon Babur realized that the only way he could expand his kingdom was by invading and capturing the territories of Indian subcontinent. So he captured Kabul in 1504. He crossed the river Indus and invaded India 5 times. Babur's fifth invasion led to his encounter with the Afghan Sultan of Delhi, Ibrahim Lodi. In 1526, the Sultan of Delhi was defeated at Panipat, and that was known as the First Battle of Panipat. So now let's discuss about the First Battle of Panipat. In 1526, the fierce battle took place between the Babur and Ibrahim Lodi. Ibrahim Lodi was defeated by Babur in this battle, and that was the end of Lodi dynasty and Mughal dynasty was founded. Although Babur had the fighting army of only 8,000 soldiers and Lodi had around 40,000 soldiers, but what were the reason Babur still won that battle? Let's discuss that now. Let us now discuss the reason for the victory of Babur. One of the important reasons for the victory of Babur was his great leadership and his well-organized army. Many nobles and rulers like Rana Sanga of Mewar also did not support Ibrahim Lodi because of his bad behavior. Babur's soldiers were skilled in a better warfare method. His soldiers used gunpowder which had never been used in the subcontinent. And last but not the least, Babur's soldiers fought with cannons and guns, and Sultan depended upon elephant. After this, Babur laid the foundation of new dynasty called Mughal dynasty. So students, have a look at this picture. You can clearly see that Mughal army was less than the Lodi army, but still Mughal won that battle. How they won that battle? It's because of their strategy. So have a look at their strategy, how Babur won the battle. Babur segregated his army into left, right and central division. Left and right division were further divided into forward and backward division. Central division was protected with the cart in front of them, and behind there were cannon. Babur also selected a place for army which would give him specific advantage to overcome the disadvantage of shortage of soldiers. The right and left division were protected by the bushes. Finally, after a week, Ibrahim Lodi left his camp and came out to fight with Babur. So that's how Babur won the battle. Now let's discuss Battle of Khanwa. Battle of Khanwa was fought between Rajput and Mughal near Agra on 16th March 1527. After the first battle of Panipat, Hindu princes united under Rana Sanga. Rana Sanga's army greatly outnumbered Babur's army. And starting, Mughal were afraid of the united opposing army, as Rana Sanga was an excellent threat for Babur to establish Mughal dynasty in India. But Babur again won the battle with his excellent leadership, and with his victory he became the ruler of central India. Now let's talk about the other battles. In 1528, Babur captured Chanderi after defeating Medini Rai. A year later, means in 1529, he defeated Afghan chief under Muhammad Lodi in the Battle of Ghagra in Bihar. After this, he became the king of Hindustan. However, he did not live long to enjoy the fruits of his conquest and died in Agra in 1530 and buried in Kabul according to his wish. After the death of Babur, he was succeeded by Humayun, who was his eldest son. Although he had four sons, Humayun, Kamran, Askari and Hindal. Humayun was instructed by Babur to live in peace with his brothers. Accordingly, Humayun divided his inheritance and power as per Babur's will. But his brothers did not believe that power should be shared with Humayun, so they began to plot against Humayun. But the biggest problem which he faced came from Afghan. in the face of Sher Khan, who was a courageous man with extraordinary talent. Sher Khan captured Bengal, which was under Mughals since Battle of Ghagra. Sher Khan's growing power frightened Humayun. In 1539, Humayun marched towards Bengal with a large Mughal force, and that was known as Battle of Chausa. And what happened in that battle? Humayun was defeated by Afghans, and that was soon followed by Battle of Kannauj. Battle of Kannauj was fought between Afghans and Mughals. Sher Khan emerged victorious once again, forcing Humayun to leave India, and Humayun took shelter at the court of the Persian ruler Shah Tahmasp. So students, now let's revise. Battle of Panipat was fought between Babur and Lodi dynasty in the year 1526, and the winner was Babur. Battle of Khandwa was fought between Babur and Rana Sanga in the year 1527, and the winner was Babur. Battle of Chanderi was again fought by Babur with Medini Rai in the year 1528, and Babur won that battle. Battle of Ghagra was fought between Babur and Afghans in the year 1529, and that was also won by Babur. So students, now it's time for some brainstorming exercise. So let's start. Who was the father of Babur? Who won the Battle of Khandwa? In which year Babur led the foundation of Mughal Empire? Who succeeded Babur? Name any 3 battles in the reign of Mughal. So students, you can give me answer in the comment section over here, and don't forget to mention your name, class and section. So students, that's all for today. Thank you.